All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Hope you all are doing well. I just want to come on really quickly. I did not plan on going live right now. I was supposed to go live earlier, but I'm going to push it back to later on tonight. But I got a lot to say about this topic, y'all. I don't know if you have heard this particular topic that I'm getting ready to discuss. But before I get into it, let me what I want to do is share and let you all know that I'm on. So give me just a minute, y'all. Hope everybody is doing well. This is a topic. Hey, y'all are already jumping on. Hey, everybody. Thank you. I have a problem with this, y'all. Let me. So the topic. What I'm going to talk about, which is a topic. I have a problem with this information. So we're going to talk about it. Hey, everybody. Let me know you can hear me. Please give me a thumbs up. That lets me know you can hear me and see me and that the sound is coming through good. Okay, it looks like you all are getting notifications. So that's very good. You know, sometimes this platform, for whatever reason, it does not always send out the notifications. So that is a good thing. Okay, hey, y'all, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all, okay? All right, listen, y'all. I want to talk about a topic, right? How many of you have heard of Emmett Till? Okay, now I want you to do your research. If you have not heard of Emmett Till, he was a young boy. I just want you to do your research on it, okay? All right, hey Xanders, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, okay? Thank you so much for your support. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well. Listen, y'all, okay? Emmett Till. Emmett Till was a teenager. Okay, he was a young black male who was a teenager. Okay, when he lost his life brutally, very tragically, in Mississippi, in I believe the year 1955. Okay, that's the information that I have. You know, just a very I wasn't alive during that time, but just a time period in history where many people were upset. It definitely contributed and helped spark, you know, if I could say, the civil rights movement. His mother, okay, Emmett Till, he's a young black male. His mother, Miss Mamie Till Mobley, was her name. At his funeral service, okay, and that's why I say you do the research on this. You know, he had an open casket because his mother, you know, she made the decision to just, you know, show the horrific acts that had been done toward her son. Okay, you all please let me know in the chat. Have you heard of Emmett Till and his story? You know, and his mother's quest for justice, accountability for those responsible for her son's horrific murder. Okay, you all let me know if you have heard of that in the chat. Okay, now it just came out, I believe, on yesterday. Some news came out on yesterday that President Biden is going to issue, or maybe I say, how do I want to say this? President Biden is going to dedicate a national monument in the memory of Emmett Till, as well as his mother, Miss Mamie Till Mobley. And while this may sound like a good thing, you know, definitely, I'm not here to say that it's not. I do feel like it helps to, you know, further establish their place in history. You know, a place for people to go and remember them, remember what happened, to honor them, their families, their lives, their families, their loved ones who they left behind, and to honor their memory and their legacy, right? But I also, now I'm going to tell you more about this National Monument dedication, but I also want to ask the question, and to make you aware, if you're not aware, why was there no justice for his family, the family of Emmett Till. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that. But let me read to you some information that came out on yesterday. Okay. All right. According to USA Today, okay, that's the article that I'm citing. The article says a national monument dedicated to Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, will finally be a reality, the article says, after years of efforts to prompt federal recognition of the teenager whose brutal 1955 killing in Mississippi helped spark the civil rights movement that would follow. Okay, President Joe Biden announced the decision Tuesday, which was yesterday, which would have been Emmett Till's 82nd birthday. Okay, think about that, y'all. So, President Joe Biden made this announcement on yesterday on what would have been Emmett Till's 82nd birthday. Okay, here's a quote by President Biden, who said, and I quote, "At a time when there are those who seek to ban books." Now, this is what the president chose to say, okay? Listen to this, y'all. These are not my words. These are his words, okay? And I quote, he says, "At a time when there are those who seek to ban books, bury history, we're making it clear, crystal clear, that while darkness and denialism can hide much, they erase nothing." Okay, that's what President Biden said at a ceremony held Tuesday at Washington's Eisenhower Executive Office building, announcing the proclamation. Okay, he went on to further say, and I quote, "Only with truth comes healing, justice, repair, and another step forward toward forming a more perfect union." Okay, these are the words of the president. And he also had this to say: "We've got a hell of a long way to go." Okay, this is what your president, President Joe Biden, chose to say. Okay, now in a release, the article says, in a release accompanying the announcement, the Biden administration said the designation of a national monument honoring Till builds on its work to advance civil rights and racial justice, including Biden's signing of the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, codifying lynching as a federal hate crime. Okay, the article also goes on to say the Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley National Monument will comprise 5.7 acres across several historic sites in Mississippi and Illinois. Okay, from my understanding, they both were from Chicago, Illinois. Okay, so he was his home was Chicago, Illinois. Okay, and he lost his life, okay, in Mississippi. All right, so that's why they're putting monuments in Mississippi as well as in Illinois, which is where he is from, okay? So the article says the Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley National Monument will comprise 5.7 acres across several historic sites in Mississippi and Illinois, tapping and encouraging partnerships, the article says, between the U.S. Department of the Interior, National Park Service, and local communities and organizations to preserve the memory of one of America's most infamous hate crimes. This is what the article is saying, okay? Here's a quote by Teresa Pierno, President and CEO of the National Parks Conservation Association, who had this to say, and I quote, "The National Park Service cannot bring the Till family the justice they were so cruelly denied in 1955. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Again, this person is the president. Teresa Pierno is the president and CEO of the National Parks Conservation Association. She went on to say, and I quote, "But with this new national park site, our leaders are bringing this story back into the light so that we may all continue to learn and grow from it, just as we have at Birmingham, Stonewall, and other national monuments." Okay. Just to give you some background story, okay, Emmett Till was a 14-year-old Chicago teen when he traveled to Mississippi's Tallahatchie County to stay with relatives in August 1955. A few days later, he and his cousins stopped to get refreshments at Bryant's Grocery and Meat Market in the rural community of Money, about 110 miles north of Jackson. Okay, while there, I think this is significant to share because I'm going to tell you how his family was denied justice several months back. Okay, so please stay with me, y'all. Now, while there, okay, Emmett Till was accused of whistling at Carolyn Bryant, a white grocery clerk working at the store. Okay, 4 days later, after nightfall, the 14-year-old was abducted from his relative's home by the woman's husband, Roy Bryant, and his half-brother, J.W. Millam, who took Emmett Till to a barn in remote Sunflower County. According to the FBI, the teen was tortured, brutally beaten. He was shot in the head. His body then dumped in the nearby Tallahatchie River with a cotton gin fan, y'all, tied around his neck with barbed wire. Okay, do you see how heinous and just it's really just you can't really put into words the just the evil behind that. Okay, his disfigured body was found days later floating in the river. Till's mother, Mamie Till Mobley, insisted on a public, this is what I was talking about, y'all, okay? Till's mother, Mamie Till Mobley, insisted on a public open casket funeral at Chicago's Roberts Temple Church of God in Christ, saying, okay, and I quote, these are in the words of Emmett Till's mother, Miss Mamie Till Mobley, okay? She said, and I quote, "Let the world see what they did to my boy," okay? Photos of the mutilated teen were published around the country in Jet magazine and other major publications, spurring outrage and serving as a catalyst for the civil rights movement. Okay, within weeks, an all-white, all-male jury acquitted Bryant and Millam of the crime. Not long afterward, Bryant and Millam would confess to the killing in a paid interview published in Look magazine in January 1956, okay? In December 1955, civil rights activist Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama, citing Emmett Till's killing as the reason, okay, according to the article. Her gesture ignited a landmark bus boycott, ultimately sparking the civil rights career of a young preacher named Martin Luther King Jr., okay? Now, I gave you some background history. Again, I want to encourage you to do your research. But listen, y'all, I want to talk now about, why I do feel like, this is or could be seen as a good step in honoring the memory, honoring the memory, the legacy, the history behind what happened and learning from it, right? What's more concerning is that while this current administration chose to declare a national monument, they chose not to hold those accountable for what happened. Okay, so now I want to fast forward to an article. I remember reading this when it first came out. I don't think I spoke about it. This is my first time speaking about this particular topic, but I do want to share with you what happened. This actually is from 2021, so about almost 2 years ago, y'all. Thank you for everyone tuning in. Please make sure you like this video, share this video, and if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would like to invite you to subscribe and join our community, okay? All right, listen, y'all. In 2021, okay, the Justice Department, okay? I want to talk about the Justice Department here. Hold on just a minute, y'all, on my page. Y'all know how sometimes they have these ads popping up, so let me click back on. Okay, here we go. All right, the U.S. Department of Justice, okay, decided there would be no new charges as Emmett Till investigation was closed, okay, by the Justice Department. Now, the Department of Justice reopened an investigation after a 2017 book quoted Carolyn Bryant Donham, saying she lied in claiming the 14-year-old made advances towards her, okay? Listen to this, y'all, okay? This came out of Jackson, Mississippi now. The U.S. Justice Department said Monday, now remember, this is back, I'm talking about December 2021, okay? So when I say Monday, I'm not talking about July 2023. I'm reporting on an article, news that came out in 2021. And I didn't think it was that long ago. I know I said a couple of months back, but it was actually in 2021. Listen to this, y'all, okay? The U.S. Justice Department said, now this is back in 2021, you can do your research, that it was ending its investigation into the 1955 lynching of Emmett Till, okay, the black teenager from Chicago who was abducted, tortured, and killed after witnesses said he whistled at a white woman in Mississippi, okay? Now, did y'all just hear me? So here we are. It's July 2023. Yesterday, which was July 25th, 2023, we have President Biden, who is dedicating a national monument, or who announced that there will be national monuments dedicated in Mississippi and in Illinois, to honor Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley. And but in 2021, almost 2 years ago, right? Not quite 2 years, but almost 2 years ago, they closed the investigation and chose not to basically hold those accountable for his murder. Now, am I the only person that sees a problem with that? Now, I'm not saying that, they don't need to have a monument, because like I said, it will help to honor. It's another way to honor, keep their memory alive, keep their name alive, the story alive, to honor them and to learn for what happened. But is it really justice? Has there really been justice for the family of Emmett Till? Now, I'm going to keep reading, and I'm going to actually read. The article is actually going to tell you how the family felt at the time. Okay, now, again, let me read, y'all. So we went from talking about what just happened yesterday, July 25th, 2023, with President Biden announcing that there would be a national monument, or national monuments dedicated to Emmett Till and his mother, Miss Mamie Till Mobley, right? But y'all listen, in 2021, they closed the investigation into his murder. No one was held accountable. Listen to this, y'all, okay? Again, let me repeat. Thank you all so much. Please like this video. That will let me know that you can hear me and see me. The U.S. Justice Department said Monday it is ending its investigation into the 1955 lynching of Emmett Till, the black teenager from Chicago who was abducted, tortured, and killed after witnesses said he whistled at a white woman in Mississippi. Okay, the announcement came after the head of the department's Civil Rights Division and other officials met with several of Till's relatives. Listen to this, y'all, okay? Till's family members said they were disappointed. There will continue to be no accountability for the infamous killing, with no charges being filed against Carolyn Bryant Dunham, the woman accused of lying about whether Till ever touched her. Okay, here's a quote by Till's cousin, who is named as the Reverend Wheeler Parker Jr., who said at the time, back in 2021, during a news conference in Chicago, he said, and I quote, "Today is a day we will never forget. For 66 years, we have suffered pain." And he said, "I suffered tremendously." Okay. The Justice Department reopened the investigation. The article says after a 2017 book quoted Dunham as saying she lied when she claimed that 14-year-old Till grabbed her, whistled, and made an advance while she was working in a store in the small community of Money. Relatives have publicly denied that Dunham, who at the time in 2021 was in her 80s, recanted her allegations about Till. Okay, now fast forward again to 2023. That person, Carolyn Bryant Dunham, she did pass away. Was it last year? Let me see if I have that information in front of me. Okay, Carolyn Bryant Dunham, the teen's accuser, died earlier this year in Westlake, Louisiana, at age 88. So she passed away earlier this year, 2023. Okay, she was 88 years old. Listen, y'all, no one has been held accountable for his for this heinous crime, right? Yet, for whatever reason, the Biden administration feels the need to dedicate a monument or monuments in the memory of Emmett Till and his mother, Miss Mamie Till Mobley. However, Is that true justice for their family? Okay, these are the questions that I'm asking. You all, please let me know your thoughts. Dunham, okay, Carolyn Bryant Dunham, told the FBI, the article says, this is back in 2021, told the FBI she had never recanted her accusations, and there is, and I quote, insufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she lied to the FBI. Okay, that's what the Justice Department said in a news release back in 2021. Let's see. Officials also said that historian, if you want to do some research on this, officials also said that historian Timothy B. Tyson, the author of 2017's The Blood of Emmett Till, was unable to produce any recordings or transcripts in which Dunham allegedly admitted to lying about her encounter with the teen. Okay. Here's a quote again from the Justice Department, who said this in a release. And I quote, in closing, this matter without prosecution. Do y'all hear me? In closing, okay, these are the words of the Justice Department, and I quote, in closing, this matter without prosecution, the government does not take the position that the state court testimony the woman gave, talking about Carolyn Bryant Dunham, okay, gave in 1955, was truthful or accurate. These are the words of the Justice Department, okay? The Justice Department also went on to say, and I quote, there remains considerable doubt as to the credibility of her version of events, which is contradicted by others who were with Till at the time, including the account of a living witness. This is what the Justice Department said, y'all, okay? Tyson said in a statement Monday that he gave the FBI information from 2 interviews he did with Dunham. He said those, and I quote, did not change the prospect of prosecution in this case, okay? He was also quoted as saying, and I quote, but our knowledge of her lying in court does not at all depend on those interviews. As I explained on page 6 of The Blood of Emmett Till, he said, okay? He went on to also say, and I quote, since nothing Carolyn Bryant Dunham said in our 2 interviews implicated any living person, including herself, at the time, I did not think them particularly newsworthy. The only crime she admitted to me was perjury, and that she had lied was news to no one. The statute of limitations for perjury in Mississippi was 2 years, so she had been beyond prosecution since the fall of 1957 on that charge. Okay, this is what Tyson is saying. Thelma Wright Edwards, one of Till's cousins, the article said she was heartbroken, but not surprised that no new charges are being brought. Okay, this is how the family felt, y'all. Okay, Miss Edwards said in a quote, and I quote, I have no hate in my heart, but I had hoped that we could get an apology, but that didn't happen. They didn't even get an apology, y'all, okay? She went on to say nothing was settled. The case is closed, and we have to go on from here. Think about that, y'all. Okay. So please let me know your thoughts about this again. Now, listen, here's something else, y'all. The Justice Department in 2004 opened an investigation of Till's killing after it received inquiries about whether charges could be brought against anyone still living. The department said the statute of limitations had run out on any potential federal crime, but the FBI worked with state investigators to determine if state charges could be brought. In February 2007, a Mississippi grand jury declined to indict anyone, and the Justice Department announced it was closing the case, okay? Bryan and Millam were not brought to trial again, and they are now both dead, okay, the article says. Dunham, at the time in 2021, was living in Raleigh, North Carolina, and as I reported, she passed away earlier this year, okay? The FBI in 2006 began a cold case initiative to investigate racially motivated killings from decades earlier. A federal law named after Till allows a review of killings that had not been solved or prosecuted to the point of a conviction. Okay, the Emmett Till Unsolved Civil Rights Crime Act requires the Justice Department to make an annual report to Congress. No report was filed in 2020, but a report filed in June of this year, okay, June 2021. Remember, I'm referring to some information back from 2021, indicated that the department was still investigating. Hold on, y'all. I made a mistake and clicked off of the page here. Okay, hold on just a minute. Thank you all again for supporting the channel, okay? Let me see if I can go back here, okay? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. The case was closed. Case was closed. No justice, okay? No justice, but however, in 2023, they're dedicating a monument, okay? Is that a real solution? Is that justice? Does that bring closure? You believe? Do you believe it brings closure to the family of Emmett Till? Okay. No report was filed, the article says, in 2020, but a report filed in June of 2021 indicated that the department was still investigating the abduction and killing of Till. Okay. The FBI investigation included a talk with Parker, who previously told the Associated Press in an interview that he heard his cousin whistle at the woman in a store in Money, but that the teen did nothing to warrant losing his life. Okay. Again, y'all, I'm not here saying that I feel like there should not be a monument dedicated. Like I said, I do believe that it is a way to honor their lives, their legacy, the memory of Emmett Till, and to also honor his mother for, for her work in bringing awareness, seeking justice for her son. But the fact that in 2021, the Department of Justice closed this case is very concerning. It does not feel like justice. It does not feel like, there has been any justice for Emmett Till and his surviving loved ones, family. What I want to say is this. I pray for all of, the family, the loved ones of Emmett Till, his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, that even despite, what may seem like a great setback, obstacle, roadblock in the closing of the case, and the fact that no one was held accountable, brought to justice, I pray that they're still somehow able to continue forward, to find comfort, peace, despite this. I also pray that, they continue to honor their, the memory, the life, the memory, the legacy of Emmett Till and his mother, Miss Mamie Till Mobley. From my understanding, I believe when I look at pictures, his family was present. His family was present along with President Biden. I did not, see any of their words or hear any of their thoughts from yesterday. But, Emmett Till is one story. There may be many, many other untold stories of situations that happened during this time period. But, it's just very concerning. I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I know a lot of times that, when news comes out, many people may celebrate this and think this is a good thing. And I'm not saying it's not a good thing. But at the same time, keep in mind, and many people may not know this. Many people may not know that in 2021, the Department of Justice closed this case, and no one has been criminally, I guess you could say, held accountable for this. So you all let me know your thoughts. I just want to come on and share this story. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel, for subscribing to the channel, for your comments, and for your feedback. I will be live again later on. I have several things that I got to do today, but I just wanted to come over. I just wanted to come over. I wanted to come on, not come over. I just wanted to come on live, share this topic with you, get your thoughts, and ask, has justice truly been served? I don't know. Y'all let me know your thoughts, okay? Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for supporting the channel here on Andrea Speaks TV.